The mood at the World Series of Poker main event has changed. Big smiles were for day 1. Intense stares are for day 7. As the main event reaches its climax, the dynamic must shift. If the pressure can be overcome, someone will enjoy that last big smile.
I have a heart attack on ESPN like 12 times.
And that one is reserved for the champion. Welcome to Las Vegas for day 7 of the World Series of Poker main event. The time for action is now.
Let's do it. I'm pumped up. Woo! It's all 2 more sunnies.
A lot of nervous energy with the final table so close.
It's going to be a long, grueling, mentally tough, challenging day today.
This is a Belize cigar. Don't use a cutter, use a puncher. Good luck to you today.
Day 7, let's do work.
Day 7, so good.
Trying to find my table.
Now, where's my table?
Hilton Laborda is still dressed in the Brazilian flag, while Lars Bonding hopes he can stack chips all day long.
Hopefully things will go well today and I can keep chipping up.
Owen O'D has the bloodlines for success. And still hanging around is Eric E-Dog Lindgren, joined by friend and fellow pro Phil Collins.
Let's do this.
Ben Lamb continues to be a central figure at this main event.
One day he's dressed in white, the next day he's dressed in black, every day he's flush in chips.
Lindgren is a double up away from being a major contender.
He's played the short stack well. Can he play it all the way to the November 9?
But 56 players are chasing Ryan Lenahan.
He's easy to chase. Just look for the chartreuse.
Kara Scott caught up with Ryan before play started.
Ryan Lenahan is a chip leader coming into day 7, and it was a big pot that brought you here. You 6-bet shoved jacks. Talk to me about your thinking there.
I raised with jacks, and he 3-bet. Again, it came back to me, and I decided it'd be better to 4-bet just because I thought he would shove all in, but he ended up making like kind of a raise for about half his stack. And I still moved all in, and he thought for like 5 minutes. So I thought I had the best hand, but there was so much in the middle, I still kind of wanted to win the hand. And he finally called, and I wasn't really happy to see ace-queen, but I got lucky and won, so it's good.
So who are you going to be attacking, and who will you be staying away from at your table?
You know, no one in general that I'll be attacking or staying away from yet. I'll just kind of have to see how they're playing and then go from there, you know, because everybody always plays a little different sometimes. You have to see first.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Lenahan with an almost 3 million chip lead on second place Ben Lamb. One short stack. Matt Giannetti owned days 5 and 6 and now has almost 8 million chips.
2 qualities the leaderboard has in common, Lon: youth and aggression. Everyone in the top 10 is a 20-something other than Tree Wing, who is 33.
This your first main event?
Yes, sir. That's pretty lucky, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
Doesn't get any better than this, does it?
No,
This is probably my
me.
25th straight.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. Likewise.
That's pretty good. Thank you.
John Esposito has been around the World Series block a few times. The blinds at 30 and 60,000 with a 10,000 chip ante. 170,000 in the pot before the first cards dealt. Esposito with king, queen off.
You heard Esposito mention he's played in 25 straight main events, and few have had more success. He's cashed 7 times, 4 times making it to the final 3 tables.
Born in Chicago, Espo now lives in Las Vegas. A raise to 160,000 on small blind David Doc Sands. He folds. In the big blind, the big stack. Ryan Lenahan with pocket trays.
Lenahan graduated from LSU in general studies. General studies? That sounds suspicious to me.
He makes the call. So the chip leader against the featured table short stack, Esposito. And here's the flop. Jack 4-9. Lenahan still ahead with a small pocket pair. Esposito picked up a gut shot. They both check. Turn card. Another jack. It's a heart. Both players with heart flush draws, but Esposito's queen of hearts trumps Lenahan's. Lenahan with jacks up. Bets 165,000.
Lenahan is 26 years old. Esposito has been married for 27 years.
Raise it.
Esposito says raise.
About $1 million more.
And that's all he has. Esposito shoves.
Well, who says 57-year-olds can't bring the hammer like the young guns?
It'll be over $1.2 million more for Lenahan to make this call.
Only Barry Johnston, Bobby Baldwin, Umberto Brenes, and Doyle Brenson have cashed in more main events than John Esposito.
That is an amazing statistic.
Well, Esposito has brought down the hammer, yet Lenahan thinking about making the call. But those pocket threes look awful tiny right now.
He is the chip leader. He would need about 10% of his stack to make the call.
I call.
And that's what he does.
Good call.
Esposito at risk.
Pair of trays? Buddy, I got 1 million wins to this yet. Wow.
What a call.
Good call. I mean,
Wow, sick
probably even money, isn't it?
Espo's right, dead even. Espo needs help.
And there it is. He hits the king on the river.
Yes.
Old school double fist pump.
Ryan Lenahan gives away some chips.
That's a good place to be.
The locals love it. Even money turns into 3.2 million chips for Las Vegas's John Esposito.
As day 7 gets underway, gone are those who are just happy to be here. The small field has 2 goals: make the November 9 and then win it all. Few know what it's like to make it this far, so I ask you, 12th place stud 8 finisher, does experience count?
Sure, experience counts. When John Esposito first cashed in the main event, Ryan Lenahan was in preschool. Espo was reading hands when Lenahan was reading Dr. Seuss. Sure, fearlessness counts for a lot, but at this stage of the game, a little experience goes a long way. That being said, some 20-something online whiz probably still going to win this thing, while John Esposito is back home trying to figure out how his VCR works.
John enjoying yet another strong main event run.
Well, I knew you were weak. You just made a good call on me.
Had 2 pair with the flush draw.
Yeah. No, you didn't have a flush draw.
That's a big hand.
You didn't have a flush draw.
You had 2 pair with a blocker. You had 2 pair with a blocker.
Right.
John sitting with a slightly below average tip stack right now. At an outer table, that's Mario Silvestri, who re-raised all in with pocket 5s for almost $500,000. Philippe Gruesome, who holds king 6 suited with more than $3.5 million chips, made the call. There'd been some debate at the table whether Silvestri exposed his hand before Gruesome acted. If he did, that would be a violation. Gruesome misses the flop.
I got the back bar, everything.
Silvestri a 3-1 favorite now. A queen is no help to Gruesome.
Working so far.
Only a king or a 6 knocks out Silvestri.
The river card is a 5. Gruesome loses some chips. Silvestri doubles and keeps his chair. But a tournament official is there to talk to him.
No. I'm telling you, he said he called. I called. He said I called.
Can we say that?
He said I called.
I heard.
Like,
I didn't hear anything. Can we just not give him a penalty?
I was 35. No, the thing is, like, he said, I'm pretty sure I'm calling. No, he didn't say, I'm pretty sure. Right, so I'm going to have to think here is called. Sorry, buddy, but he didn't say 1 round.
Can we not give him a penalty? That's just too much.
That is not true.
But in fairness, sir,
Can we just not give a penalty here?
I think in fairness to the fans is too much.
I mean, what you
Whatever
you said,
Mario. We all agreed he shouldn't get a penalty. Just give him a warning. Yeah, we all agree. Just give him a warning.
It affects the action.
No. If I can explain. Although he didn't say I called, what he did say, he implied that he was going to call.
Yeah, he heard the word call.
So
We all agree a warning
yeah,
is
he implied that he was going to call.
Yeah, because he
And he'll admit it.
Silvestri's table mates appealing to another official.
What I was saying is, okay, I said okay. I got a bad hand, but and then he turned it over.
It's all good. He's too late now. You can't do it. They rule in it.
Guys, move on with the action.
Sorry, buddy.
I think it's stupid.
Silvestri will sit out 1 round, 8 hands.
Yeah, this is too much.
Tough ruling, and Silvestri understandably frustrated. A 1-round penalty is going to cost him 15% of his stack in blinds and antes.
He turned it over when I said I got a bad hand.
No, he heard you.
I said okay, I got a bad hand.
Oh, maybe the word okay.
Yeah, okay, I got a bad hand. And then he turned over.
His table mates came to his aid, but Silvestri will sit out a round, a bittersweet double up. So 56 players remain in the main event. The average stack almost 3.7 million. Ryan Linehan still top dog. On the left, Kenny Shee saw a raise and a call before he looked down at aces. On the right is Stuart Tuvey, the original raiser with pocket sixes. He was called by John Hewitt with pocket jacks. And Shee raises all in.
Oh, this is an easy fold for Tuvey.
Tuvey tosses in his pocket sixes and a call from Hewitt. And Norman, I've got a new poster boy for pocket jacks.
Well, if the poster boy gets lucky, the 23-year-old Costa Rican pro can knock out the 30-year-old American pro.
All right, here's the flop. 10-9 queen. That's a good flop for jacks, but she's still ahead.
She does not like the sweat.
How are you feeling? Good. Good? Yeah. I feel really good after that flop.
8-13. Deuce.
Jack,
come on. Come on. Break,
turn card. Quick. Not what Hewitt was looking for.
She's got to dodge 10 outs one more time.
One more break. Come on.
King, 8, or Jack knocks him out.
3 diamonds.
Hurry up, dealer. The man's suffering.
Come on.
The river card is a 7. Kenny Shee will survive and double up.
Oh.
John Hewitt knocked down to about an average stack of 3.7 million.
So sick. Honestly, I'm gonna have a heart attack on ESPN like 12 times. You guys see it, like all my friends back home. Cal, you guys will see it. Freaking 12 heart attacks. Jeez.
With 3 million now, he just needs 203 million more to be the main event champ. Welcome back. There is no bigger prize pool in all of sports. $64 million awarded at this main event, 8.7 to the winner. Back inside the Amazon room where the field continues to shrink and the stacks continue to grow. 3 chips in play right now. The orange chips worth $5,000 apiece. The greens worth $25,000, and the recently introduced purple chips a cool $100,000 each.
If I ever had a purple chip, I think I would buy a purple Bentley.
Well, you might be able to get the rear quarter panel. There is Little Rock amateur Sam Barnhart with pocket 10s.
All right.
A raise to $135,000.
50% off sale.
Huh?
50% off the original price.
Well, might be a little better hand this time.
Action on Ukrainian pro Anton Makievsky with ace-queen off. And a raise from him to $300,000.
Makievsky says the sale is over. You now must pay full retail to play.
Scott Schwalik folds to the button. Ben Lamb with 7-4 of spades. He's the top stack at this table.
Lamb on the button and looks to be in the mood to gamble. What's 300 grand to a big spender like him?
He's sitting with over 10 million. And a re-raise because he can afford it, and to camouflage his raises when he has real hands.
Lamb just 4-bet line with 7-4. What a markup. No discounts on his watch.
A re-raise to $725,000. Now over to Barnhart, the original raiser.
Barnhart not looking to spend $725,000 to see a flop.
And he gets rid of his 10s. Makievsky now.
The best hand yields, which of course gives Ben Lamb a fighting chance.
That's quite a Ukrainian stare.
All in.
Makievsky says all in.
You have 4.
That's a pretty good read from Makievsky.
You made it past the snap call.
Lamb now will count to 5 and act like it's a tough laydown.
Should have to have like aces here.
3, 4, 5, and there's the fold. So a great read by Makievsky, and he'll take that pot.
Now, the 21-year-old plays like he's at least 22.
Makievsky with more than 5 million now.
Pretty good hand, that's it.
Yeah.
A rare sight to see Ben Lamb blink first, but he did get caught red-handed. We check in now with David Sands, whose girlfriend Erica Motino is still in the main event. On day 6, Sands answered a question he wished he hadn't.
What color are her eyes? Brown.
Dark green. Yeah, I've definitely got a lot of flack for getting Erica's eye color wrong in an interview the other day. I don't know, I guess I was just flustered, and the truth is that I kind of felt like I was
if I said dark greenish brown, I was going to be able to get away with 2 answers, and so I had no shot at being wrong. But then I ended up just saying dark green, and I didn't get the brown out. But if you look at the interview, I did like try to say brown. It's almost like a stutter. So if you can play it in slow motion, I think you'll see where I tried to spit out brown.
Dark green.
Brown, brown, brown.
Doc Sands is a smart guy, but that's pathetic. It's one thing not to know the color of your girlfriend's eyes, but he wanted to go to replay to justify his error. That relationship has no chance.
David's brown-eyed girl has more chips than he does at this point, but David with 2 aces, 1 of each color. Hilton Laborda opened the action with ace deuce of diamonds, and now Sands with a re-raise to 275. Chip leader Lenahan gives up his button, and the small blind Hines folds. And the big blind French pro Stefano Albertini folds. Back to Laborda.
Laborda with the weak ace, made weaker by Sands' pocket aces.
He loves to see a flop, and he makes the call. The flop, king 10 for 2 hearts. Nothing for Laborda. And he checks. Sands way, way ahead.
Sands made a final table this year at a World Series pot limit Omaha event, finishing 3rd.
Laborda, who has been very aggressive, checked the flop.
Hey, Doc, those chips are orange. Laborda's flag is green. Your girlfriend's eyes, brown.
Sands with a bet of $235,000. Laborda may be seeing red right now. No.
65.
A raise to $650,000 from the Brazilian.
Wow. Laborda makes a gutsy play here. Well, gutsy or foolish.
Okay, Todd. All in.
All in.
Doc Sands re-raises all in for $1,700,000.
Laborda will count to 5 slowly and then pretend he has a tough laydown.
Well, soccer is Brazil's national sport. Maybe he could fake an injury to try to save some face. Laborda does fold, and Doc Sands will take a nice pot here at this feature table.
Hey, Doc, look at Hilton's eyes. They are also brown.
Laborda's aggression comes back to bite him there, and Sands, the recipient of 1 million new chips. He's up to 3.1 million right now. And that's more than Erica Motino, by the way. All right, to an outer table. Kenny Shee on the right and the pink-haired Guillaume Darcourt are in a hand with German pro Sebastian Rutenberg, who just re-raised all in with ace-queen off. Action on Darcourt, the French businessman, with pocket kings.
The amateur against the 2 young pros.
She opened the action with pocket eights. Darcourt just calls, inviting Shee to come along.
That makes sense.
She lays down his hand. Rutenberg at risk and trailing.
I folded 8s. How's that? How's it called? No, 8s.
Rutenberg, creative, aggressive, but now at the mercy of the deck to stick around.
Oh, nice. Bracelet winner looking for an ace. Here's the flop, 10-8, 10, and Kenny Shee looks at the full house he folded.
Yeah. Oh, no, the 8s. I had 8s. 8s.
Turn card now. Deuce of clubs. Darcourt adds a higher flush draw.
Rutenberg's going to need a non-club ace.
The river is another deuce. Rutenberg out of the main event. Darcourt gets stronger.
I believe that was a French kiss.
Darcourt now with more than 6.7 million chips. German Sebastian Rutenberg won the respect of fellow pros for his stellar play, but his main event journey ends in 55th place. Frenchman Guillaume Darcourt hopes to put his newly won chips to good use and continue his deep run here at the 2011 main event. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker main event presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Lon McCarron along with Norman Chad and Harris Scott here on day 7 of this 2011 main event.
Only one player left in the field is a multiple bracelet winner, J.P. Kelly.
52 players left from the original field of 6,865. Each remaining player guaranteed $160,000. 12th through 10th gets almost 4 times that. 8 members of this year's November 9 will become millionaires. Some serious cash to fight for at that final table come November. And how about a heads up? The difference between first and second, $3.3 million. That's going to be fun to watch. At this feature table action on Hilton Laborda with the button. He calls with ace jack. Ryan Lenahan opened the action to 140,000 with king 9. Now to the small blind, John Esposito with 2 aces.
Former nightclub owner, professional gambler, big sports bettor, big bettor on the golf course. He also fishes, but that might be the one area in which he doesn't gamble.
A re-raise to 490,000 in the big blind, David Bach.
Bach flying solo today. The masseuses union doesn't work the feature table. TV lights are too bright.
He folds his rags. So back to Lenahan, the original raiser. And he lays down. Now to Oholman de Bandeira.
What is that?
The flag man in Portuguese.
Oh, so English is your second language. Wow. Deja vu. Laborda had an ace against David Sands' aces. Now with an ace against pocket aces again.
This ace into the mug, and Esposito will take that. John Esposito now with more than $3.3 million. John's been around the game a long time, but that does not mean he doesn't have any tells. Let's hear from former FBI agent Joe Navarro on what he saw.
John Esposito is going to show us 2 behaviors that are actually very significant. The first one has to do with how he tosses those chips in very powerfully. And the second one, I want you to look at the face. So as we look at him, he puts his chips out very confidently, something to pay attention to. The second one has to do with his face. Notice how his cheeks are moving in and out. For a lot of players, what this says is, I'm very strong, I'm very confident.
Well, John Esposito is a strong and confident fellow. Regardless, he walks around like he's going to win.
Good qualities to have at the main event. We move from the featured table, go over to the secondary table. Ben Lamb is steady as she goes. Guillaume Darcourt has been moved from the outer tables and will be on Ben's left. They are the 2 top stacks now at this secondary table. Action on Ben Lamb with 2 kings. And a raise to 135,000. Darcourt with aces.
Boy, and this is potentially a nightmare scenario for Ben Lamb. He could lose 7 million chips right here.
So Darcourt will try to extract as many chips from this table with his aces. There's a re-raise to 285.
Here's a fun fact for you, Lon. Every time you get pocket kings, there's about a 4% chance someone will get pocket aces at a 9-handed table.
That's just scary. Gut check time for the other players here. A raise and a re-raise from the 2 big stacks here at this table.
Here's another fun fact for you, Lon. Water covers about 70% of the Earth's surface, but it's $6 a bottle at a lot of hotels.
All right, so it'll be the re-raise now back to Lamb. And just a call with the kings.
Wow, Lamb not re-raising pre-flop.
Aces versus kings, Darcourt and Lamb. The flop 6, 4, 9. Lamb checks.
With the pink hair, you expect Darcourt to be wild and crazy, but he actually plays a pretty solid game.
Darcourt came by the pink hair due to a lost bet. And there's a bet of 300,000. Lamb comes by his hair color naturally. And he makes the call.
Oh, Lamb didn't repop it pre-flop. Now just check calling with a very safe board for pocket kings.
Turn card is a 5. Lamb checks again quickly.
Lamb is cautious, it seems. And Darcourt is quite comfortable.
Darcourt has retreated into his Star Wars Emperor mode. And now about a third of the pot, 425,000.
Small bet. And Joe Navarro would tell you that wearing a watch with a second hand on your left wrist indicates strength. Again, this is a pretty non-threatening board for pocket kings, but Lamb's played the whole way like he's wary.
Just another call from Lamb. All right, the river card. The 9 pairs the board. Ben Lamb quick to check again.
Darcourt's seen Lamb call him 3 straight times. Might be thinking of a value bet here. Might also be thinking maybe a value bet's going to blow up in my face.
Darcourt checks.
I win.
No, you don't.
Whoa!
I win.
Thought I might have won when he checked.
Sorry?
Thought I might have won when he checked.
You don't re-raise me before the flop, you forgot?
don't know. Where's your pot, buddy?
Where's the rest of that pot?
I like how I win.
Somehow Ben Lamb managed to lose just a fraction of his stack. Welcome back to the Amazon room at the Rio. Just before the break, we saw an incredible hand, not because the pot was so big, but because the pot was so small. Ben Lamb escaped disaster against Guillaume Darcourt. Pro Phil Galfon will tell us how.
I think this is the most important hand of Ben Lamb's tournament. He manages to lose just 1/10 of his stack with pocket kings against pocket aces. Rather than 4-betting pre-flop, he just calls Darcourt's 3-bet and check calls the flop, check calls the turn, river goes check, check. I think the key here, a lot of people might think Ben Lamb must have put him on aces or have been worried about aces. That's not at all the point. What Ben Lamb's thinking is that I have such a big edge on this tournament field, I don't want to risk the majority of my stack right now on what I consider a small edge. In a tournament, if you're a big favorite, you don't want to take big risks and even cost yourself some expected value in doing so.
It might seem obvious, but chips you don't lose stay in your stack. Ben Lamb, very impressive there, losing not much.
Despite the reduced field, still so much going on at all the tables. One-time chip leader Phil Collins is holding steady right now, just over 7.6 million.
And you see Collins uses a water bottle as a divider, a fence, if you will, between his chips and his neighbors.
And now that Mario Silvestri can sit down again, he needs to chip up.
I hope that's a new hoodie. He had thrown his hoodie to the floor when he got that one-round penalty.
Silvestri with almost $1.5 million now. Back at the secondary featured table, Ben Lamb and Guillaume Darcourt are at it again. Lamb open for 200,000 with ace-10. Darcourt 3-bet with king tray of hearts, and Lamb called. The flop 8-4-ace. Lamb flops top pair.
This is a battle of the blinds. I wouldn't want to go heads up against Lamb while chewing the last remnants of lunch.
Lamb checked. These two about evenly stacked now, $8.5 million each. Darcourt checks. Turn card now. The 5 of hearts gives Darcourt a whole suit full of outs with a flush draw, and he has a wheel draw too.
Well, that's about the best turn card Darcourt could have asked for.
Lamb can't give another free card. Bet 625,000.
Darcourt a 3-to-1 dog in the hand and getting 3-to-1 on a call here.
And there is the call. Oh, that was a great turn card, as you mentioned, Norman. River card is a deuce. The Frenchman rivers the wheel. Darcourt running like Ben Lamb now against Ben Lamb. Lamb checks.
Surprised Lamb did not bet the river for value. That deuce of spades looks like a blank, even though it did put 4 to a straight out there. Need I remind anyone, Ben Lamb a little smarter than I am.
Darcourt now trying to figure out how much he can get from Lamb. He thinks $1,025,000.
Probably gonna call you.
Ben Lamb doesn't want to call, doesn't want to fold. He's already put $1.2 million into the pot. If he calls here, he'll stand to lose 1/4 of his stack on this hand.
Lamb's girlfriend, Amy, looking on anxiously.
Doc Sands thinks her eyes are green.
I don't think I can fold. What do you think? I don't think I can fold this hand.
I don't know. What's up? I don't know what you have.
I have that same problem.
Yeah, I see.
Our course seems comfortable. Lamb makes the call and sees the winning straight.
King 3 hearts is so sick. Just hoping he didn't have a heart with it.
Amy hasn't seen many bad moments for her man in this World Series.
Think it's good, no?
Yeah, it was straight. Of course it's good.
The French businessman likes doing business with Ben Lamb again.
Darcourt got the 10.8 million by knocking Lamb down to 6.4 million. Nobody holds over Lamb, but it is official. Guillaume Darcourt is on a heater, and it's coming at the expense of Ben Lamb. Everyone comes to Las Vegas chasing a dream, and inside the Rio, a select group of players are left chasing the dream of becoming a world champion. Just 6 tables remain in the Amazon room. Let's check in with Kara Scott for a report on the outer tables.
We're down to 50 players now as we say goodbye to some names like Sebastian Rutenberg and Jody Howe. Some notable names still in, though. Eric Lindgren with 1.8 million chips, Tony Hashem with 2.4, and of course Erica Moutinho, who's just doubled up to 4.5 million chips.
And that's a better than average stack right now. The current payout just over $160,000. 4 Canadians left, 2 Brazilians, 2 Frenchmen. Action at the secondary table on one of the Frenchmen, Guillaume Darcourt. Lines up to 40 and 80,000. Darcourt on the Jack Link's Beef Jerky hole. Cam, King 9.
Darcourt's wife, Caroline, is a poker journalist, and her eyes are brown.
She may have written about Guillaume's WPT win in Bucharest in 2010. Darcourt putting together a raise, 180,000. To Chilean pro Nicolas Fierro with King 10 of spades.
Fierro with an engineering degree from the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Santiago. I believe they are the Thundering Herd.
I did not know that. Fierro with a call of 180,000 to Irish pro Owen O'D with pocket jacks.
What?
On the button, he says all in. A re-race to over $1.7 million. Barnhart in the small blind folds. Makievsky with ace 10 of hearts. Darcourt folds out a turn.
Makievsky with a math degree from Taras Shevchenko National University in Kiev, and they too are the Thundering Herd.
A statistical improbability.
Well, frankly, Anton's fine education should have told him to fold already.
Ukrainian pro.
Call.
Makes the call. Darcourt already folded, so action to Fierro, and he lays down. So OD, a better than 2-1 favorite to double up.
I don't understand that play by Makievsky. At best, he likely was going to be in a coin flip, and it was for more than 1/3 of his stack.
So OD with a chance to get healthy here. The flop. 5-9 deuce, 2 hearts. OD's jacks are still best, but Makievsky with a flush draw.
OD a long way from securing survival.
Turn card now. 6 of spades. Makievsky misses. OD one more streak to survive.
Still 11 outs to knock out Owen OD.
The river card, an 8 of diamonds, and OD with a sigh of relief doubles to 4 million. The Ukrainian drops below chip average.
You almost cost him his term of life, you know, right? He folded out of turn, and he would have never played his hand if you were in the pot.
Yeah.
You caused his hand to go down.
So Owen OD, the only Irishman left in the main event, will try to keep his lucky streak alive.
What? Call.
I'd say he's doing rather well, having just doubled up holding pocket jacks. Ralph Rep Porter brought his career winnings to nearly $1.5 million by taking down the $2,500 Raz event along with his second gold bracelet. In a 1K buy-in no-limit hold'em tournament, amateur and former Marine Ken Griffin earned his first ever World Series cash. It was a big one. He took home the bracelet and over $450 grand.
Ken Griffin, and I just won my first World Series of Poker bracelet.
As we head back to the outer tables, we find Eric E-Dog Lindgren, who won his only bracelet in 2008. A lot of fans were surprised to learn that 2011 is Eric's first ever main event cash.
Yeah, I wasn't having much fun in the preliminaries, but when the main event came, I've just been having so much fun making a run. I think that I'm a patient player as well. I'm able to pick my spots, not get too emotional. Basically, I'm just getting to be very experienced at tournament poker.
Back to the action on a trade Jack-Jack flop. Lindgren just raised all in with pocket sevens against Kyle Johnson, who has ace-queen.
Johnson, a 22-year-old Canadian semi-pro.
How much is the pot? Just better out, yeah. Well, I can figure it out. It's like young kids never want to do any work. Not really.
Johnson should let this go. He is getting 3-1 on a call, though. He's actually in much better shape here than he should be.
22-year-old from Edmonton.
Eric thinking, let it go. I'll take the pot.
Exactly.
I call.
But Johnson makes the call.
E-Dog hates to see that call. He'd prefer to take the chips uncontested and move on. 6 outs for Johnson to knock out the 2008 World Series Player of the Year.
Turn card now. Another jack, and Eric can't afford to see another one, Norman.
Yeah, if you put a river jack up there, you'd have to wheel Lindgren out of here on a stretcher.
River cards paint, but it's a king. Lindgren will double up.
E-Dog loves to see that call now. He needs the chips. Lindgren trying to crawl his way to the November 9.
Remember, day one ended with 3,700 chips. Now he's over 3 million. Johnson with 6.1 million now.
Let's flip these young guys around, Steve.
I don't know if you're qualified.
At 34 and married, Eric skews old in today's poker universe. Just 6 tables in action now with 49 players remaining as we get back to the secondary table where Guillaume Darcourt is now the table leader. Irishman, 0-0-D under the gun, 9-8 off. And he folds. Sam Barnhart now with ace-queen.
Remember, he's got degrees in computer science and biology. When he got serious about poker, he read a ton about game theory. He's made himself into a good player.
Yeah, and he puts in a raise, 180,000. Anton Makievsky with the Ukrainian Jack Link's beef jerky wild card hand, Norman.
Well, my grandfather was Lithuanian. I actually feel comfortable with the Ukrainian mindset.
Makievsky makes a call.
I'm going to go with B, 10-9 suited. I mentioned that Anton went to Taras Shevchenko National University. Shevchenko was a poet and a romanticist who loved suited connectors.
You're the one who's been getting good hands. You've been coming over the top of both of us.
That's just like your opinion, man.
All right. Vieira with a tray fold, so heads up.
Little Rock versus Kiev. And by the way, both cities have TGI Fridays.
Here's the flop. Queen, ace, 9. Barnhart flops top 2 pair and checks.
Barnhart gets sneaky. The Fridays in Kiev, by the way, is right on Bessarabka Square.
So you think Makievsky flopped bottom pair?
Check.
He checks.
Well, I'm ruling out C. He wouldn't check top pair, top kicker there.
8 of hearts on the turn. Barnhart with aces up. And 8 green chips. Yeah, 200,000.
Barnhart not much of a bluffer in this main event, so if I'm Anton, I'd have to think he has a hand. So on second thought, which is more thoughts than I usually have, I know I ruled out C before, but if Anton calls or raises here, I'm bringing it back.
All right. Anton with a call.
I'm completely ruling out D. By the way, last time I was in Ukraine, I ate boiled dumplings for a week.
So have you switched to C, the ace-king?
Yeah, he called, so C is a possibility. D is completely out of here.
All right, the river card is a king. Barnhart bet 200,000 on the turn. Here's another 200,000.
Another popular dish over there, Lon, incidentally, is chicken Kiev.
Of course it is. It's in the Ukraine.
Small bet from Barnhart, crying for a call. But I actually think Anton might have hit aces and kings on the river.
Sam has Anton covered by about $1.2 million, and Anton here with a raise to 500,000.
Oh, that's aces and kings or a set of kings.
I call.
Barnhart calls. Makievsky shows ace-king to win the Jack Link's beef jerky wild card hand. Congratulations.
I know Ukrainian cuisine. I know Ukrainian Jack Link's beef jerky wild card hands.
Makievsky up to 3.6 million. Barnhart knocked down to 2.9 million. Sam can't believe his bad luck there, but ace-queen is a loser. For more on the World Series of Poker, visit ESPN.com/poker. Back to the featured table. Hilton Laborda looks down at pocket queens.
Laborda with the rare Ralph Lauren polo shirt, Brazilian national flag combo. That's actually a very tasteful, color-coordinated ensemble.
He started day 6 with $1.8 million. Started this day 7 with 7.1. Now with 8.7 million. A raise to 185,000. David Bach now with 10 deuce. This must be a makeup day for all the kings, queens, and aces he got earlier. Fold it around to Doc Sands.
Is this the most hoodies we've ever seen at one table?
We get more every year. Ace-king for Stefano Albertini, the French pro.
Single, no children, once had a girlfriend whose eyes were brown.
In the small blind. A raise already from Laborda.
All in.
Albertini says all in for almost 2.8 million.
He pushes with 35 big blinds left.
Big blind Hewitt folds. Laborda quickly calls to put Albertini at risk.
France, Brazil, great soccer matchup at the poker table.
Segura, segura.
Segura means safe in his native language. Albertini looking for help. The flop, 10, 10, 8, no ace, no king for Albertini.
You have ace?
Laborda enjoying this. Turn card is a jack, gives Albertini a useless gut shot.
Yeah, straight no good for Albertini. The queen would give Laborda a full house.
River card is the queen. Whoa. And Laborda's boat will send Albertini packing.
Bora, vamos! Bravo!
The flag celebrates, but does not shake hands.
Stefano Albertini says goodbye to his table mates, out in 46th place. His first ever World Series cash worth over $160,000. And how about this amateur Hilton Laborda, known mostly as that guy wearing the Brazilian flag? Well, now he is the chip leader on day 7. You gotta love the main event. Just 5 tables left in the Amazon room. Everyone now guaranteed $196,000. Let's take a look at some chip counts for the featured table. Laborda and Lenahan, the only players in the room above 10 million. Word from the outer tables is Eric Lindgren has lost a couple coin flips. He's now below $1 million.
First, I had to worry about a guy with pink hair winning the main event. Now it could be a guy wearing his national flag like a dinner jacket. Why can't it just be a guy in a cowboy hat?
Like David Bach. Bach on the Jack Link's beef jerky whole cam with 2 red queens.
He's got a psychology degree, former pro bowler, 50K horse world champion in '09.
He's also got the short stack at this table, but a raise to $180,000. Folded to Ryan Lenahan with pocket 8s.
I'll take a psychology degree over a general studies degree any day of the week. What the heck is general studies?
Lenahan with a re-raise to $330,000.
See, general studies teaches you to 3-bet with the worst hand.
Fabio Sosa, the other Brazilian, folds to John Hewitt from Costa Rica. Ace-king.
23-year-old pro, born in Chicago.
I'm all in.
And a 4-bet re-raise all in. To Martin Stashko from the Czech Republic. He lays it down. Laborda with 7-5 suited. Even he won't consider that. Back now to Bach.
Bach, the original raiser, now staring at that 4-bet. Hewitt has Bach covered by almost 700,000 chips.
I'm all in also.
Bach calls all in.
Makes that easy.
Lenahan with 8s. No longer.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
So Hewitt with ace-king will try to knock out David Bach.
The main event hangs in the balance for both of them. If Hewitt loses, he'll have 8 big blinds left. If Bach loses, he is out.
A key moment for both. Here's the flop. Ace-king, king. Hewitt hits the jackpot. Bach needs running miracles. And that ends it.
You should have called, man.
Yeah, Hewitt wishing Lenahan were in the hand as well. But as it stands, David Bach knocked out.
The likable David Bach out in a bang. He had a lot of big hands. A big hand finally undoes David Bach.
David proudly wears his 50K horse bracelet, but he will not be collecting the main event version this year.
That's a bad flop for me, though.
With that pot, John Hewitt working his way back to even for the day.
Más fácil, corazón.
So the feature table and the main event loses a very tough player. At an outer table, we see that Ruben Visser has been eliminated. You may remember him as a player who made a premature call against Alan Cunningham at the feature table on day 5. He finishes in 44th place.
He's a kid without a dream.
All right, at one of the few remaining outer tables, Eric Lindgren whittled down to 625,000, moved all in with pocket 4s. Steve Brecker with pocket jacks called and will try to send E-Dog out the door.
The 65-year-old Brecker, the oldest player left in the field. Lindgren had under 8 big blinds left.
The flop 7 trace 6. Some hope for Eric flopping a gut shot.
E-Dog triples his meager outs there.
Turn card is another 6. No help to Lindgren.
Lindgren's got to have a 4 or a 5.
The river card, the deuce of diamonds, and after grinding so hard, Lindgren can't believe it's over.
If your dealers and floor staff, you win?
Lindgren was down to 3,700 chips at the end of day one. A long, impressive, short-stacked run for E-Dog.
Brutal. Steve Brecker sends Eric Lindgren to the payout cage to collect over $196,000. So here's how the leaderboard looks at the moment. Laborda flips his way into the chip lead. Guillaume Darcourt surging, courtesy of Ben Lamb's chips. Unfortunately for Eric Lindgren, his chip count is 0. He's now with Kara Scott.
It's really difficult for some people to understand on the outside that you start to look at the final table, you're getting closer. It's quite disappointing, isn't it?
You know, it is, but it's not as big of a deal as people make. I mean, there's still 44 people left, so I've never been happy with 44th in a tournament in my life, and I'm not today.
I hear that you wanted to get just a few places ahead, though, as well. Tell me about this.
There is that. I'd had a side bet with Tom Dwan, and I needed like $2,000 more, so if I could have made it to 36, it would have been a little nice, but we all know Tom never loses.
That's the truth. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Kara.
Right now, everyone living in Hilton Laborda's world. He's unorthodox, but plain vanilla. Doesn't win many bracelets. Day 7 got everyone's blood pumping.
You'll have a heart attack on ESPN like full time. You guys see that?
Ben Lamb escaped Guillaume Darcourt once, but he couldn't do it twice. And for Eric Lindgren, day 7 marked the end of an impressive and improbable main event run.
Text the wife. Good luck. Brutal.
For Norman Chad and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.